Hello, I'm going to go over this worksheet, reading data from graphs, HR diagram. So we're going to be dealing with a couple of graphs here. This is an HR diagram in astronomy. It's for organizing stars. And then we have the same one here. It just looks a little bit different, but it is the same. This is the one that we're going to be using. So I'll get back to that in a moment. But in this activity, we already have the graphs done, and we're going to read from them. So we're going to read off the data that we see in the graphs. On these HR diagrams, you have two things. You have temperature of stars at the bottom, and you'll notice the hottest stars are over here in blue, and the cooler stars are over here in red. So that's the temperature, the surface temperature. And then along the side here, you have luminosity. This is how bright it is. And they have a certain unit here. Don't worry too much about the units. But at the top are the brightest, and at the bottom are the most dim stars. Again, same setup on this page. Now, here's my data tables. I'm going to fill in this information for each of the labeled stars. For instance, Rigel. We find Rigel up here, and I need the temperature and the luminosity. So you're going to have to estimate, because when you come down here for Rigel, you'll see 25,000 and 10,000, and then 6,000, 3,000. The distances between these is not the same. Okay, so this is more over here as well. This is more, it looks more like logarithmic. So you have 15,000 that's separating these two lines, but only 3,000 that's separating these two lines, which are further apart. So you're gonna have to do your best to figure this out. Rigel, if I say Rigel's over here, well, here's 10,000, here's 25,000. I'm gonna guess 12,000. Your numbers may be a little bit different than mine. I expect that, okay? But we should be able to predict what it is based on the numbers that are given. Now, luminosity for Rigel is way up here, right? And you may want to write this down. I converted these to actual numbers. So 10 to the negative fourth, 0.0001, 10 to the negative 2, 0.01, 10 to the second, 100, 10 to the fourth, 10,000. So Rigel being above 10,000, I don't know how high it goes, but if we're following this next line would be 10 to the fifth, which would be 100,000. So if I had to guess here, I'm gonna say 40,000. Again, your numbers may be a little different than mine. Let's look at another one, Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse is here. So which one is Betelgeuse? It's this one. And if we look at the temperature for Betelgeuse, it's just under 3,000. So I'm going to say 2,700. What about the luminosity for Betelgeuse? Well, it's pretty similar to Rigel, but again, we're dealing with a much different chart. So I'm going to go 20,000 on luminosity. And again, that's because I'm trying to estimate where it's at between 10,000 and 100,000. So do that for the rest of these. If you have any questions, let me know. Fill in the rest of these three data tables. I hope this helps.